So, how's it going, everybody? Y'all doing good?
We're doing fantastic.
We are.
5 kids. Is that
Plus one.
right?
Yep, one on the way.
You you got one on the way now.
Yes.
Wow.
We do.
Yeah.
So, how are you able to balance the road life and all this with 6 kids or 5 with one coming?
Yeah. Well, by not going on the road, right?
That's the balance.
No, I mean, obviously we didn't do anything really in 2020 and we could have in 21, but things are still so crazy that I have no desire to get out there yet. And with having the baby, we're just taking it slow. But even before all of this happened, I think for the past 5 or 6 years, we've been trying to scale back a lot and make it so that touring is not our primary thing. And God has really blessed that effort to allow us to be home with the kids because we do homeschool and we live on, a wannabe farm. And so we're trying to really invest in our home life and still minister as best we can. So we'll see. I have no idea what it will look like in the future, but we're doing good right now.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So you guys have some acreage there. You live on what you call a pseudo farm.
Yeah.
And
Wannabe farm.
yeah, wannabe farm. That's what she
Yeah.
said. So what is life like with 5 kids? I mean, you've got how old is your oldest?
You want to go?
He's 11, just turned 11.
Yeah. And our youngest is
Okay.
4.5. So
Well, with a wannabe farm, you can get them started working here soon.
That's right.
Do you got any farm animals?
We do.
we do.
We have
19.
19 chickens, 10 ducks, 19 chickens in the freezer.
Yep.
We've already raised them and put them in the freezer.
Yep.
We have a dog, 3 cats. I think that's it.
Yep. That's it for now. But
For now, we're wanting to go towards pigs. We're wanting to go towards cattle.
Yeah.
So we're just we're easing in. We've only been here a few months, so we got to pace ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, 19 chickens and 10 ducks is diving in pretty deep already. I think that's pretty good pace.
It is.
So,
This is us going slow. So
I love it. So cows and pigs, and I mean, you guys are going to be full-on farmers here soon.
That's the
I
plan.
believe I was with Ann Voskamp not long ago, and I think they do some farming out at her place,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
They do.
Yeah, lots of acreage. And you know what? There's something special about that. I live on some acreage myself, and my wife swore up and down we'd never do this. And here we are now on some acreage, and I'm looking out at that field and I'm thinking maybe I should get a cow or 2.
Good. Yes, do it.
Cut down on your mowing. They'll mow for you.
Well, that's right. That's right. But, being self-sufficient in this day and age is not all that bad of an idea,
Right.
raising your own food and all that. Is that kind of your goal?
Yeah, I mean, for me, for sure. I think for you too. Eventually, just to get less dependent on, other people for those things, and to teach those skills to our kids and pass them down matters to me. Because I think, we just don't know what's coming, whether it's our lifetime or theirs. I think they're good skills to have. So,
Yeah, I think from
Yeah.
my perspective, it's more about exposing the kids, teaching them many of these skills, and just a little bit better understanding of, number one, where your food comes from, but what you can do. There's so much that people just assume I can't do this, or that's beyond me, or I have to have a degree for this. And to learn that there's so much involved in your everyday life that you can just do yourself. Those are the kind of skills I want our kids to learn, be a little bit more self-sufficient. We have a friend that just celebrated. They now raise every bit of meat that they eat. And, I don't know if we're going to get to that goal, or I don't know if we did, how long it would take, but there's certainly something to be said for knowing exactly where your food came from and what your food was raised on. in our effort to take care of our bodies and take care of and be responsible with what God's given us. So I'd say there's as much education there as there are practical reasons, but there are both for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. So I'm assuming you guys do some gardening as well, huh?
We plan to. We did at our last house. We didn't move here early enough in the season to get that all going. But our plan is our baby's due in February. So I'm like, well, once the baby comes, the garden's the next baby for next year.
Yeah.
So we've got it kind of
That's
mapped
awesome.
out, and we're excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that way you like you said, Matt, you know where everything came from. You don't have to worry about stuff being, completely diluted with chemicals and everything else. And it's just nice to know that everything's organic and fresh and healthy.
Yeah.
You're going to have some healthy kids, you know that?
I hope so.
So what about the music, Francesca? Are you still, obviously you're still involved doing music, and are you doing a lot of writing?
I am, yeah. It slowed down a little bit now, just with school starting, and we've basically picked all of the songs for the next record almost. So we'll get started on that soon. And then I have a new song that's out right now and is in the movie that is also out right now. And so just trying to support that from home as best as I can by doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So tell us about this movie.
Yeah, well, the movie is God's Not Dead, We the People. It's the fourth installment in the God's Not Dead franchise, I guess. And it's all about freedom. And I play a homeschooling mom who stands up for her, right to educate her children the way that she sees fit. When the state comes to threaten that, she and several other characters go to DC and kind of make our case before a congressional hearing. And it's a really powerful film, I think, in the times that we're living, especially just understanding how important freedom is. And so that's really, to me, why the film is so timely.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's very timely, and you're playing a pretty major role in this thing. So when is it released, and what can we expect as far as release date and what kind of impact you think it's going to make?
Well, it actually just came out yesterday, and it's only in theaters.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, today and tomorrow. And then it will stream at some point on PureFlix, because that's who made it.
Yeah. Tentatively, we heard the end of October through the end of November, it'll be exclusively on PureFlix. Then it'll open up to, I guess you can stream it wherever you stream other stuff.
I don't know that we're supposed to say all.
Oh, we're not supposed to say that?
I don't know.
But
I mean, of course, it's going to stream.
Coming to a platform near you.
Exactly.
Somewhere. But it is out tonight, tomorrow. We're going to go see it tonight. And they just did a limited Fathom event release, and I think like 900 theaters. And so I think it's done really well. We'll know more in a couple of days, but even where we were going to go here in Nashville, they were sold out and they had to open up another theater for us. So that's a good sign.
And we didn't.
That's awesome.
We haven't even seen the final. So we're going tonight to see the final version, because the one we've seen is always like, to be corrected, or this one scene might change. So, we'll get to see it, with everyone else for the final version.
Yeah, I'm excited.
How fun is that? So was this like your first dive into acting, or have you done a lot of this in the past, Francesca?
This is the most major thing. I grew up doing a lot of theater, which is acting, but it is different. And then I had a tiny little cameo in my friend's movie Woodlawn a few years ago. But that was like a half day of shooting. This was a month of 12-hour days. So definitely a different experience, but one we really enjoyed. I think the hardest part of it was that it was in the middle of all the COVID craziness, and having to abide by those protocols was the worst part. Everything else was really fun. So,
how did you get connected with PureFlix, and did an agent say, "Hey, we got a part for you," or how did that work?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was about 2.5 weeks before shooting started. And the publicist for the film they just hadn't cast my role yet. I think everyone else had been cast for a while. And he had worked on a book that my mom wrote like 10 years before, and for some reason thought of me and told them that they should call me. And so I didn't even have to send them a tape or anything. They just very blindly cast me. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that hopefully I didn't embarrass them too much. I'm like, you guys, what if I'm terrible? But it worked out. So
I think Kevin Downs recommended you as well.
I think you're right. Kevin Downs, who
He's produced a lot of the Irwin Brothers films.
Yes.
And so he's been around and known Francesca for years, and he recommended it as well.
That's right. So yeah,
this
the Lord.
Yeah.
This dream that you had back when you were 6, I read something about how you saw The Secret Garden on Broadway and you thought, wow, I want to do this. So that's kind of come full circle now.
It is,
Mhm.
I love music, and that side of what I get to do is amazing, but getting to sort of pair that with acting, it's been something I haven't been able to, satisfy that part of my heart in a really long time. So it was really fun, and I'd love to do more, but if that was it, I'm glad for the opportunity,
Yeah, not only for the opportunity, but also for the opportunity to be a part of a movie that is really about a very current issue we have in our nation, and to play such an important role. That was truly a God thing. That 2.5 weeks before they start shooting, suddenly you're
Absolutely.
involved in this in a
Yeah.
role that was probably a pretty natural role for you too, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Yeah. We homeschool, and my character, Rebecca, homeschools, and she's very passionate about, the Lord and freedom and her kids. And so Matt said, when we read the script, he's like, well, you're not even going to have to act. You just be yourself. That's true.
Yeah.
I think they did a
For
good
real.
job too of really, they kind of push the issue. Like they don't really softball around the issue a little bit. There's even a line in the film that a guy says that I'm like, man, that's pretty extreme that they would even, suppose that somebody would say that in the film. And then literally just within the last few days, someone on the government level has come out saying, I don't believe that parents should be the sole, primary stakeholder in their child's education. And that's literally a line from the movie.
Mhm.
And when you heard it in the movie the first time, you're thinking, wow, they're pushing this down the road, but it's already become reality. So I think they were really forward thinking in how they presented the direction they feel like the country is going. Yeah.
Sadly.
Well, that means a lot to Charles and I, because the guy who said that was the guy running for Virginia governor, Terry McAuliffe, who just said that. He said they shouldn't be involved. They need to stay out. And it's only for the government to decide. So that's in our backyard. Yeah.
I mean, obviously the government is by far the best choice to decide decisions for your children. I mean, look how they handle money. They're great at that.
They're doing such a good job.
I don't know that I realized how far we'd gone until all the Zoom schooling and stuff that happened. Then you start hearing reports of teachers in schools saying, parents, we don't want you watching your child over their shoulder when they're watching their class. And all of a sudden you realize,
excuse me,
what are you you're trying to keep us from seeing what's happening in the school. And that's when I think it first occurred to me how far that pendulum had swung to. We don't believe the parent should be in charge of education.
Yeah. Well, we're in a new level of deception and evil that we've never seen before in this country, and it's shocking. And honestly, I didn't think it would happen in my lifetime. But at the same time, just working on a sermon out of 2 Timothy right now, it is just the days are here, and it's unfortunate, but thank God for PureFlix and people like you and others who are willing to make a stand. I mean, I still believe that the silent majority really is a majority in this country, but it doesn't need to be the silent majority anymore. The silent majority needs to start speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. That's good.
So we're grateful for you and making this movie. Do you speak to issues like this when you're writing songs?
I haven't a lot in the past. It's crazy how it hasn't even felt as necessary until the last year and a half. We have friends that we'd known for years that you never even knew their political views until COVID, because you didn't have to talk about those things. And I think we've come to a point where you can't really hide anymore on either side of where you stand in this dividing line that's coming to the church, which a lot of people are like, oh, it's so sad to see division in the church. And it is. And we've even experienced that very recently. But it's also, I think, necessary. Jesus said, I didn't come to bring peace on the earth, but a sword. And we have to know where people stand, and we have to know where the true church is. And that's only going to come through difficulty, I think, and some form of persecution. And so I think those days are, like you said, they're upon us, whatever that looks like.
It's a real tactic, I think, of Satan that causes Christians to want to be quiet because we're not supposed to talk about our views or the Bible, or this is going to divide us. Well, right. Jesus and the word is a stumbling block, right? And so,
right.
Yeah,
I know it. And go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the very nature of the gospel itself is divisive, because you're confronting people with sin, and it's interesting because you're in a role in a lot like I am, in the sense that as a worship leader or a musician, we're supposed to unify and not divide. But at the same time, when you look at artists and artistry from the past, even from a cultural impact perspective, like Michelangelo doing sculptures and things like that, I mean, there's always been the element of artistry that has spoken into current culture. And I think you do that in a lot of really positive ways, but every once in a while you have to confront the culture with truth.
Yeah, it's true. It's really true.
So tell us about your new album. I know you're not put to the point of having all the songs chosen or not, but can you give us just a little picture of what it's going to sound like? What can we look forward to?
Oh, it's a crying baby.
Let me go check on the crying baby.
I think he's fine.
Crying baby.
Thankfully our older kids are at a point where they can usually watch about 30 minutes.
The realities of
right.
The 5 children.
I know it. This album is probably more worshipful corporately than anything I've ever done before. Not every song. The song that's out right now, sorry for moving the computer. The song that's out right now is definitely more of a kind of a story song. It's even got a little bit of a bluegrass leaning to it. Oh, hi, you're okay. Come say hi. But I'd say most of the other songs that we've chosen are very, very more worship oriented, which I'm excited about, because that's what I really wanted to do for the last record. And, hi.
Yeah.
Baby. Can you say hi?
Hey, man.
Oh.
Now we're happy.
Got my mama back.
I love it. What's his name?
This is Benjamin. We call him Benny. He is 1.5, and he's our sweetest little snuggle bug for now. I don't know what he's gonna do when a new baby comes. He's gonna be like, excuse me, I am the baby.
Yeah. You were not invited. Who is this? No. Yeah.
You had your moment in the sun. Now it's pass it off.
Yeah. You have to pass the baton.
Right.
I know. I love you. You're okay. You're okay, Bubba.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, we don't want to keep you too long, Francesca, but we just want to let you know we really appreciate everything you do, your talents for writing, singing, just everything, and now acting as well. We just have a great appreciation for you and how you're impacting culture. You're one of those that are out front of everybody else. And there's a lot of people following you, a lot of people counting on you, and a lot of people, just cheering for you as you move forward. And, you got a great helpmate with Matt. He's a wonderful guy. I've known him since he was a little kid. And we just wish you the very best.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And you guys as well, just thank you for being a voice of truth, and keep doing what you're doing. And we're just honored to be in this fight together, right?
Well, we are, and here's the thing. I mean, our goal with this podcast is just to inform people about new products, but also give them a little hope, some real love, and every once in a while a little bit of good music. But one thing that we like to do is, before we let you go, is we always like to have a little made for this comment at the end, where I get to ask you, what if there's anything left in your lifetime and your career that you feel like you were made to do and haven't yet gotten a chance to do it? Is there something like that? Please tell us.
Ooh, that's a great question. I feel like there's a few, but the one that came to mind is a book. I think that at some point, maybe both of us have a book to write, and so we'll see. We'll see what the Lord has.
What about you, Matt?
Being a grandfather.
Besides raising a cow.
Or raising a cow.
Oh,
I
wow.
said being a granddad.
You're definitely made for that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great one.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're a great dad now. Can't wait to see you as a grandpa. I hope I live that long.
I'm sure you will. You look younger than me, Charles. I don't know how that happened.
Oilable egg.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I could make you feel, I mean, I don't know how old I was. I used to mow your yard, and here now I'm 42 and I have 6 kids. So if that makes you feel old.
Feel really great.
Just trying to that
Matt, we blinked, and here we are, man. I remember you as a little kid running around the New Song bus, and here you are now. It's pretty cool to see. And I want y'all to know I love you. And listen, keep doing what you're doing. You're making a huge impact in our world. Hey, Brandon, you got anything else?
No, I thought that was great, that you want to write a book. And I think maybe the book could be about how you've turned from, into farmers. I want to, it could be instructive of how people could do that. That would be awesome.
How to book. Yeah.
How to. Oh my goodness. Yes. We need to learn about that first, but
hey, Matt, this is maybe for you or Francesca, any question you'd have for Charles that could put him on the spot as we wrap up?
Oh gosh. Don't do this to me, Brandon.
I'm not good at spot putting questions.
Any question because you've known him so long, any question for him?
Oh man. I probably have too many questions for him. It's been so long since we've hung out like that. Man. No. No.
Don't do it to him.
Good.
Putting me on the spot.
Well, I gotta.
How
about you name your book "Faith, Family, and Farming"?
There you go. I like it.
And the lessons from the barn house. I love it.
We'll give you royalties for that title.
Oh, please. Yes, please. 20%.
That's right.
Hey, we love you guys. Thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Yes.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.